to speaking. We got too many jets getting killed for no reason. And been really in your hood to get you killed like treason. This Jesus on the main line. Witness it hustle sick. All my life I've been getting in good trouble. It's just lunch and jet. The new ball and G.
And we're coming back to a great conversation that we had started earlier today on Queen's birthday. Today, we were talking about.
Happy birthday, Queen. Happy
All
birthday, baby.
right, let's
Thank
put it out
you.
there.
Thank
I hope
you.
you see many, many more.
Yes,
Right?
Father. Yes. Thank you.
So, we were having a great conversation that was based on it started off with people pain and how people pain that it goes unresolved, and how does it impact people's professions? And do they take that pain into their businesses, and does it show up, get projected into the world to others and hurt others, because hurt people hurt people. So we were talking about how people deal with their people pain. And we launched on to topics such as forgiveness and who taught you how to do that. Did anybody teach you how to forgive yourself for things that you might hold guilt over, or forgive others freely? And what does that mean? What does that even feel like? What does that even really look like, that thing about forgiveness? We talked about having situations where relationships get impacted by your people pain, and how that happens, and how that shows up, how abandonment in childhood and adverse childhood experiences can show up in your adulthood, and how do you recenter and manage that. So we were having conversations along those lines, and where we landed was talking about family and how
Yeah.
people pain shows up in family. So what you recall, Magic? Where we left you at?
I know where you left me off at. I guess we was getting into the part of like risk of like step parenting and things of that nature, and so and I know that it was getting to be a touchy situation, a touch and move type of thing. So but just I know we got two other people on here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We got that guy on here,
Yes.
A Floyd. We got Shalima, I guess, when she be tapping in, so to make sure they up in the speed, cause that's a touchy one, just to jump, just to throw right on them.
Yes. Yes.
That's a touchy one just to throw right on them. But I do want to just say, man, it's blessed to be here, and and with your company helping heal the hurt. Hopefully we're gonna help heal some people. You know what I'm saying, and we're gonna give some people some truth today. Because today early, we really weren't prepared to really do what we really do and say what we finna say. But now we're a little bit more ready, a little bit more ready to go. So,
Yeah.
with that being said, pain. I think pain is the root, really, of how we operate as a people. I think pain is the root of success. Like, people have to dig in. People have to dig from their pain to go where they're going. So now, when people manipulate pain, it's something different, and that's what we were getting ready to get into. How children can manipulate pain for things that they want or desire, and things that the nature there. But my man Floyd, like, hey, do you have a time in your life where you have been a victim of somebody manipulating your pain, or you manipulating your own pain to get what you want in life?
Mm. Ooh. The answer is yes, and the reason that I'm gonna answer yes, and I gotta think of a particular time. I really gotta sit up and think of a particular time, but I know that it has happened because of what you have already said. People usually come from their pain. You know, and like you were saying to me, like it is like when you watch a child, when I know that if I do this thing, I can get this thing. Um, so yeah, I know I've done that. I know
Right.
I've come from my pain to get something. You know, I
Right.
can't sit here and say a moment right now.
Right.
I really have to think about it, but I know I've done it.
Shalima, how have you used pain to manipulate the outcomes that you want in your life?
Wow. I missed a little bit, but I'm back and I can hear you. How have I used pain to manipulate? Well, if it was something that hurt me, I have used that I'm a female to get the sympathy of one being a female, of two, it hurt me, so I'm showing a certain type of emotion to get a response, a response of sympathy, and I've been able to manipulate that to my advantage too. But don't look at me differently like I'm doing something wrong. It was for a good cause.
Hey, now that's something we all gonna say is for a good cause. Now,
Yeah, yeah,
you
I
know,
know. When
anytime
I
we get what
hey,
we want, it's for a good
yeah,
cause.
go in with that
Eventually.
sad face. Yeah, I've done it. It's for
I've
a good
used it.
cause. Yeah,
I've
yeah.
used it.
Yeah, hey, I have a dog that does it. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about a pet.
Wow.
Yeah, a dog that
Don't tell me it was a don't tell me it was a female dog. Then we gonna fight.
no, it wasn't.
No.
Oh my goodness, no, no, my dog is a male. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
Okay. Okay.
but listen, hey, I can point out a few good ones though if you want to go there. I, but we ain't gonna go there today. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna keep it Christian. Um, but yeah, but pain is a source. And particularly, I thought about something once we got off the thing today. The Royal Queen. Like a lot of people don't celebrate their birthdays for the pain. A lot of people
Mm.
don't celebrate
Mm.
birthdays. You know what I'm saying? I got a homeboy say we'll celebrate our death day, but won't celebrate our birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
true.
Well, that's crazy
But why do you
too.
think that
He's gonna
is?
celebrate his death day.
Everybody is not into celebrating birthdays, believe it or not. I wasn't into celebrating my birthday like that until a couple of years ago. Um, I would just be like, I'm just thankful to see another year. I wasn't very big on parties and, going all out. But one of my friends, we have been friends since the seventh grade. She said to me a couple of years ago, "You're supposed to celebrate yourself on your birthday. It's another year being alive. You getting older, you getting wiser. So you should celebrate yourself." And that kind of stuck with me. So now I try to, celebrate myself.
It's interesting you say that because a birthday and that celebration of the birthday is just like Mother's Day and Father's Day and Valentine's Day. These are days we should be celebrating on a regular basis.
Hmm.
We should be celebrating life on a regular basis, but because we get so caught up in life and people pains that kick up and other stuff that we have to encounter, that the birth date is just to slow you down and stop you and say, if you haven't celebrated any other point, this is it. This is the day.
Yeah.
At least give yourself that, because so often we don't give ourselves the time and attention we should in the first place. So that's why
Yeah.
we end up feeling.
That's good.
Sorry, I'm go ahead.
That's good that you said that, Daniel. That's interesting because I'm always trying to find reasons to be happy and to celebrate. So whenever a holiday come around, I'm extra excited about it. But there are a lot of people who are in pain and they can't find ways to celebrate their happiness anyway because they're
Yeah.
unhappy. So when these holidays come around, it's another reason to not be
Yep.
happy for
And
them.
even for their own birthday, right? They start to look at their life like, well, dag, I'm this age and I'm not where I want to be.
That's the big one. That's the
where
Yeah,
big
will
one.
it
yeah,
be? You know, and
yeah,
it becomes something of more of a sad thing than a positive thing. Just celebrating the fact that you're here to live, let alone what you got in your account. So it
yeah.
all depends on that people pain. Anton.
No, I agree.
Yeah, well, you
What's
got
crazy
people.
is I my birthday last year. My fiance was like, "Oh, I want to throw you a party," but I'm so used to, like you guys saying, just maybe working on my birthday. It's not a big deal. I'm constantly telling her it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal, and um, I can honestly say that last year it was just a small group of people. Magic was there and stuff, and I was like, this is dope. I'm glad I did this. Because like you're saying, Danielle, it's a way of saying stop. It's okay to celebrate yourself,
Yes.
and you should celebrate yourself because you're constantly going, or you're what we're talking about is pain, or you're hiding from something. Because I can probably say when I was 9, 10. After that, I don't know about a birthday party. You know what I'm saying? And when you push that, when you talk about a party, it brings up that stuff, you know. And yeah, so actually going through it like last year, it was like something that was released, you know. It was a blessing. And then, like I said, it was just a small group of us around, and I was like, wow, I appreciate it. So yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
so
I'm sorry, Meg.
I definitely wanted to, cause I do understand the people like, cause Christmas was a bad time for me at one time. I remember one time, Christmas, all the gifts got stole, and it happened to be
Yeah.
just all of my gifts. Everybody else's gifts was there, but it, so, so it was,
Hey,
so
hey, let's get the M gifts. Whatever has M on it, let's just take
Take it.
it and get out of here.
Take it.
right,
Let's just take it.
right. So I
This
don't
kid
know.
been bad anyway.
Right. I don't know if whoever stole the stuff, what I'm saying, they had a son somewhere and they couldn't use the female stuff, or I don't know. But it's hard being the only male. So 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 speaking of that, um, so me, I'm here to stir the pot. So before we get off into the other thing, like what I'm saying, so men have to hide their pain and women get celebrated for showing their pain. Why you think that is?
I'm I'm gonna
Man,
say
I think it starts off when we're kids.
it's conditioning. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Teach
it
how to
starts off when we kids. You know what I'm saying? You told, hey man, you better not be crying. You better take this. Don't be no girl. I mean, that's where all that is. That's that's the seed, man, and
I'm
it
not
just germinates into this big old tree, man. Because it's constantly that never ends. It just never ends. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Anton, I'm
Yeah.
gonna beg of you to watch your mouth, right? Because that's what I think is gonna start changing mindsets for the masses. If we're conscious about what it is that we're saying, such as
Oh yeah.
it never ends, or such as shut up, stop crying, I don't want to hear that, you a man, take it, suck it
But
all
at
up.
what point that you
You
don't
gotta
Oh,
watch
supposed
your
to?
mouth.
what I
What?
mean,
Now
I agree.
we're gonna set in our minds on how we're gonna behave. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. But when I was saying it never ends, what I'm saying is it's a cycle in our society that I see.
Yes,
And
Instantly.
the only way that it can end is when we remove that part of and allow people to feel, you know.
say it.
And so that's what I mean, like it never ends. I
Yes.
mean the cycle, because it starts when you're young, at home, and then you can see it perpetuated in television, you can see it perpetuated in music, you can see it perpetuated on a YouTube video. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean. That cycle will never end because it's everywhere
Right. And that
until like you're saying, people become conscious of what they're seeing.
right. But how do
That's the
you
way.
do that?
Not only that,
How do you do that?
not just. Well, let me interject for a second. It's not just a matter of being conscious that it's happening. Also, knowing your history, understanding where it comes from. It's an insert. It's an intentional insert that was given to a group of people for a reason, to keep our men docile.
Yep.
I'm sure you've heard of the Willie Lynch letter, right? Everybody on here has
Oh
heard it
yeah.
Yeah.
before,
Every
right?
time it seems like every time I talk to you, the Willie Lynch letter comes
It's
up. I
gonna
think you
come
got
up.
a copy.
It is a thread that we must examine.
Good,
Go ahead, Gene.
good. It's something. That's right, and I hope you'll read it eventually, so you can see the intention and how it impacted us as a people. And that's why the mothers is teaching the sons, oh, suck it up, be quiet. You're supposed to be a man up. All of that comes from that seed, that intentional seed to make our males docile.
Absolutely.
So that's right. One of the first things is to recognize where it comes from, know that it's not something that should be happening, and change it in your own
So
lives.
can I share something with y'all? How many of y'all got Levi's? Y'all got Levi's? Y'all heard of Levi's? Y'all know what
Mhm.
Levi's are?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Levi's?
Gene?
Jean.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Levi's. Did you ever look at the symbol of the Levi jean? You ever see what that symbol is? You ever
What is
notice
it?
what the symbol is? The symbol is a pair of jeans, but there's some ropes that's tied to the jeans,
Mm-hmm.
and there's some horses at the end of the rope. So what Levi wanted to signify was how tough the jean was. If these horses ran the opposite ways, it would rip it apart, right? And that's how tough their jeans were. That's what Levi used. But that was actually a part of something that was done as a torturous example in slavery
Yeah.
to make the women fear men being made docile. They would
Hey,
take the
wanna.
biggest
what does
man and break.
docile? Hey, I need to understand this docile word because it's
And it
really
came
not.
up a few times.
Yeah, what is this docile word that you're using? What is it? Men became what?
Docile. Docile. Go ahead,
Doc,
Shamar.
I, I say docile, but really weak,
So teaching
Humble.
them to
soft.
be tough
Young.
made them soft.
Say again?
Yes, because it's not really teaching you to be tough. It's muting your emotions. Is what they're doing, because if passion is a good emotion to have, right? But then there's fear. So if a mother is in fear that something is going to happen to her child, she'll mute him, teach him how to hold a certain emotion back that would make him rear up and take action in a way that would get him hurt.
I.
So docile is like they even have a saying, a docile woman is someone who don't talk
So
back.
docile by
Where they at?
definition means one who is easily taught and quick to learn. So during that time, we needed our young men to be easily taught. They were breaking them,
Yeah, I'm
breaking the
docile
spirit.
then.
Yeah,
I,
docile.
I wanna I wanna say something to what
But
Anton said and what she said. I feel like that plays, when parents or mothers are doing that to their sons, they're crying and they're saying, shut up, be quiet, suck it up, you a man. And when he's a boy, I feel like when that boy grows up to be a man, that messes with his communication skills. He don't know how to communicate because he was told to shut up. You know what I'm saying? Be quiet, don't express yourself.
And not only how to communicate, he don't know how to manage those feelings when they do come up.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So now the easiest emotion to tap into for the human being is anger.
Really?
Violence.
Violence
Start
is
hitting
the
on women.
easiest, the one you're gonna feel
Hey, hey,
instantly
hey,
when it
hey, hey,
happens.
hey. Nobody said nothing about hitting on one. Why all of a sudden that
What?
just
No, no, no.
like see, this why I'm glad I got my guy on here,
Magic.
because it's not gonna be a
We
male
already know why
bashing.
you invited Anton on here. First, it took us to be on here 10 minutes before I figured out this was Anton on here. I thought you called him
Yo,
something
Shay, I
else.
said the same thing. Happy birthday.
Thank you, director. Thank you. Hey, we miss you, man. We miss you. A lot of guys do though. They result to hitting women, because they don't know how to mask their emotions.
Now, women just got a different type of power. So, and when they learn to manipulate their pain, women is the master. See, women can handle more pain than anything on this world. So when
Says
women
who?
they
Says
can
who?
harbor pain.
Who
When
said
women can
that?
harbor. Women. Listen, women are the most durable creatures in this on this planet. You know what I'm
But
saying? Because you can
Magic,
take a woman.
where did you
And
get that from?
I'm getting it from women.
That's
Women are
another.
durable.
That's another seed from the Willie Lunch. That's another seed from that
Man, wait, if
letter.
you in this letter, what the
Interrupt
letter
him
at?
Okay.
again. Tell him about the letter. Tell him about the letter.
It's
No,
another
that's
seed because the women would is the parents, is the mother who is going to train her children, right? So you train up the woman to think that she's the head of the household. She's the strong one. You're going to take it on. You're going to take on the whole load because we're saving these men. We're saving the
And you can
boys.
take it.
But it translated, right, and it translated into a woman who's taking on everything and not taking care of
mm-hmm.
herself. So that is a myth that women can do anything and all of this. No, that's not the way
Yeah.
it
It's
should
the
be.
mindset.
It's a
Yeah, it's the
partnership.
mindset of black men. It's just like, you know, because I don't know what men come up with this. Women are forgiving creatures. Women, we can take a man cheating on us before a man can. It hurts. Either way, it
Yeah,
hurts.
it do
Just
hurt.
because we
I ain't saying it don't
women
hurt, but but
don't
you can
mean
endure
that, oh,
more.
we built for this.
So,
So why y'all say it then?
well, listen,
We
there's a
don't say
lot of
we
things
built
that
for
said
that.
either way. Some women say, I don't need a man in my life, and some women think they can't get on unless they have a man in their life.
That's
So
true.
there's polar opposites, and there's plenty in the middle. But what we're talking about here, right? What we're talking about is these misconceptions. And they're so off balance that some people believe, yeah, women can take it all, they got it, they're masters of manipulation, they can manipulate their energy and their feelings, and they got it, and not realize that they need to be women. They need to be able to be in their feminine energy. They need to be able to be women, right, without having to take on more than necessary. And that's what the partnerships is supposed to be about. You
Hmm.
taking a part, right? So, and when it comes to men, we got to stop as women thinking men could take it all and they don't have any feelings and all they got to do is provide and all they meant for is to be the workhorse. That's not all they're meant for, and they have their own emotions, passions, dreams, and things that we have to give them room for as well. So we can't think and we can just dump. I'm
And
sorry.
I want to go back to where someone is saying, hey, the women are the manipulators only. Because when a woman is in pain, I've seen in some instances where men manipulate them because they're in pain and they're
Hmm.
vulnerable. So we're going to bring that to the front too, because men and women both
That's true.
manipulate.
That Let
Okay?
me tell you, I had somebody tell me something so fabulous this week, right? So you know how we have our classes and we have our master classes, right? And I was
Uh,
saying, I'm looking for my masters. I'm looking for all my master trainers, people that have mastery in what they do so that they can learn the next level of things, right? So as I'm talking, this one pops out with, well, you need a wizard. You need a wizard. You don't just need a master. You need a wizard, right? So, and I'm like, a wizard, right? So what are you talking about, a wizard? So we go on, but then I realized, damn, I do need a wizard, right? I'm gonna say that because it's not about the sex or the role. It's about your energy and how you manipulate your energy. And men can manipulate energy just like women
Yeah,
can,
yeah,
and we
and
can
you
use that to
manipulating right
benefit
now,
each other.
and you manipulating right now. Every woman who says is
Wow.
not about the sex, but then want to use the fact that they are a woman. But I don't, you know what I'm
Whoa,
saying?
whoa.
Yeah,
Shots fired. Go ahead. What happened? It's Shay's birthday.
Wait,
You over here shooting. What you
do that one more again, Magic. Say that one more again.
It's just funny to me
He said, I'm
about
over
how
here manipulating right now.
women,
That's
you
what I
manipulating
heard.
right now for when women say it's not about the sex, but they use the fact that they are a woman.
But
And
we can't dismiss the
it's crazy.
fact. We're
So,
not
but
going to
then
use anything.
men can't use the fact that you're a woman and understand that, you know what I'm saying, because we got the confidence when you meet a confident man that to walk around and say, you know what, I am dominant enough to be a man. I am walking around in my masculine energy. So, you know what I'm saying? So now, I'm bad. I'm like, oh, well, you trying to, no, I'm masculine. I rule things. I step on things. It's big pimping. And so and that's the heart, like that. Where do you find your security at? You're gonna find your security in a man that don't feel like that?
No, listen, I love all of what you're saying. I almost feel like I hear some pain in that. I feel like there's some
Yeah, it is
that's
pain. This is
going on
this is
there.
this is the black pain. This is the black African American man
Okay.
pain.
Okay, well, please allow us to sensitively handle that. I'm going to say to you, Black Man Pain, that you don't have to, we're not using the fact that we're women. The fact is we are women. And when we're in our being, we should allow to be being that, being a woman, being in that energy that makes us woman, that made you attracted to us. We are excited that you are happy in your manhood, and be confident and show up in that. But don't try to break us if you see that in us. And don't think that you can dump on us because you see that in us.
No, a lion gonna roar.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
these women want a man, but a lion gonna roar. When a lion gonna roar, then you call yourself, oh, I'm gonna roar in his. No, you gonna know you not. You gonna, and so because a lion is not afraid to be a lion, that's all that creates a problem. So the fact that we have to repress the fact that we are true lions, we are true dominators, that is very hurtful. And the pain that we are feeling as black men, because we can't walk around in our natural dominant nature.
The thing
It's
is, you
killing
can.
us.
Well, I can say one thing. Let me say one thing
Ooh,
though.
magic.
It's the whole thing is not being able to communicate it in a way to have the lioness, because you got two lions there. There's an alpha female too.
Here
So
we
if
go.
you're roaring out, right, you need to be able to roar out and express it in a way that lioness, who is built to go hunt as well for the food and bring it
Do
back,
we need to be able to?
right? You need to.
Are you going in and out?
Go ahead.
Is she going in and out, or that's my
No,
thing?
I want you to go ahead.
Yeah, so do we need to express it in a way where it's comfortable? So that means we still got we got to express it. What you said, men need to express it in a way. So that means that we still need to be controlled. We still need to be governed by your feelings. So that's where we're hurting at. That's why we're so hurt, because we can't, like I said, we can't walk around in our natural state and dominate the way we naturally supposed to dominate, because you just said, okay, if you roar, you need to roar like this. How you gonna tell, man? Come on.
Let me jump in on that.
No, that's not what I said. But go ahead, you jump in, Danielle, because I might be going out, but I am still going in. Go ahead.
Okay. Listen, no one is telling you cannot walk around in your dominant state and nature. We're asking you to respect our state and nature as you do so. And if you're looking to connect with us and communicate with us like anybody else, not just because you're communicating with a woman, it's the same as if you were communicating with a colleague or someone that might have had your greater interest in mind. You communicate in a way that your communication can be received, not just because you can roar. So I'm gonna need you to put a little bit of that energy down and be able to communicate in a way that what you're trying to be.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, because I just want to say one thing. Now, when you're doing all this dominating and all of that, are you dominating men too? Because if you're only dominating women, how
we
strong
dominating
are you?
the land, and that's what I'm saying. No, it's not just women.
Okay. So if you're dominating a man, how's he going to respond to you?
So it's war. That's why men compete.
Right. So then why can't a woman So then that's the problem there. The expectation is for that woman not to boast
Now
and
you don't
beat
want to
back.
be in this fight. You don't want to go to
If you
war.
want to
You don't
beef,
want to go to war with a soldier.
if you
Master P
want to,
told you.
if you're gonna
You
beef,
don't want to
I
go to
don't care. If
war
you're
with a
gonna beef
soldier.
up at a lioness, if you're gonna beast up at a lioness, expect to get the roar back. Just like if you beast up at another lion, he's gonna roar back. You gotta expect that, and you got to know how to transition into a conversation where you can get the best effect for
No,
yourself.
it's no transition into when
Well,
you
what the
roar back.
birthday
It's
lady
war.
has something to say. What you
I
said to
mean,
say, birthday
Yeah, I
lady?
want to hear
I mean, I,
Queen. I want to hear
I mean,
Queen's
I feel like a
birthday.
lot of this can be prevented in the beginning. If you out with this woman, you feel like you can't dominate her, let her go. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you can't have that
Wow.
control over her, like you want that control, then let it go. The same thing with a woman. You know what I'm saying? If she wants to control a man, if that's what she like to do, and you feel like this man is too bullheaded for you, let it go. It's
I'm gonna
it's
ask
right
y'all
there
something.
it's right there in the
I,
beginning. If I'm
I'm
talking
gonna
to
ask y'all
you
something.
and I
I'm gonna
feel
ask
like
y'all
you too
ladies something.
controlling,
I,
Why is missionary the dominating position? I mean, just know what I'm saying. You know, we're not trying to get into no naughty conversation, but I
I'm
want you to
gonna,
understand.
if I can answer two things, I'm gonna answer your question in just a second, right? But let me just backtrack just a little bit and say all of what we're talking about also stems from pain. If y'all notice the volume that went up, the passion
Yes.
that went into the communications, the stress that we put on certain words, all of that is because we have been trespassed against in those spaces before. And we're speaking from that. So again, that's unresolved pain. So now to answer your question, why is missionary the dominant position? Is that what you said? Was
Yes.
that the question? I'm going to say because of the positioning that it puts the people in. Because the woman is subordinate, she's up under, the man is over top. The gaze down. Listen, I want y'all to act like adults on here now. The gaze down, the look down is letting you know that I'm in position over you.
Mm-hmm.
The power that's coming from whatever the activity that's happening, all of that is bringing you pleasure while letting you know I'm over you. All these things are happening in the senses, and if you're doing it right, all senses is kicking off. So this woman is in total open era to receive this man because she has to receive him into her life in this way. So there's a lot that's happening in the physicality of the action that puts him in a dominant position. So that is why I would believe that position to be most dominant.
I would concur. Cause it's got to be dominant. Listen, we just naturally supposed to be dominant. Men compete, and when women step and say, you know what, that they want to be treated as equal, and you get your head knocked off, then you say, "Oh, I'm a woman." Oh, well, you must forgot.
Listen, I don't think it's so much as equal in that way. Equal in the respectability of things. Like you want to be respected, we want to be respected.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Like
you
you
get
have
respect.
like
It,
well, like you don't want
no.
to be interrupted. I don't want to be interrupted. Like
Ooh.
you don't. Shots fired. So in those kind of matters,
See,
there's
this
the
how
ego.
war start too. See what I'm saying? This.
See the ego that
Don't
jumped
do
up. You got to
something
go
to
to
me
war with me
that
because
you
but
don't
that's
want
what
to
I
Yeah,
was
do.
we
about to
do.
say. I think everything that you're saying, like when you before you went into the missionary part, Danielle, I think where you were, what you said is what it is. Everybody's coming from a pain place. They're coming from their pain body,
yes,
Yeah, we are.
and it's coming from that ego side, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I mean, if you just listen to the words dominate, you
yes,
know, control, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And I heard the word respect. See, when that word is there, control and dominate won't be there. It dissolves because I'm here now with you and I'm respecting you and our conversation is what it is. Now I
yes.
may disagree with you as a woman, but I do respect what you're saying to me, and I'm not going to. I think Lima, right? I think you were saying, well, if you are you dominating the men like you trying to dominate the women. you know. And it's, to me, when, even if you're doing both like that, it's still coming from what I believe Danielle and this conversation starts from, the pain, you know, because it's something that's hurting in you that you feel that you have to take control of something, you know.
So,
That's
Anton,
just me.
thank you for that because it brings us back to the premise. Your first question was how do we feel like we've manipulated our pain for the benefit or the gain of something good? Because of the pain that I experienced in my life, my company was built, helping heal the hurt. Because of
Hmm.
the pain that I experienced, I've learned how to manipulate it in a way that benefits me toward the gain. Because I experienced it anyway, I might as well benefit from it. So let me go ahead and extract the juice out of it and leave the peel. And let me go ahead and share the juice with the others because that could be poured out.
Hmm.
So, like I said to you before, hurt people, but heal people. And until we stop and realize all of the things that we discussed here absolutely comes from the pain body. And if we stop looking at each other as men and women and trying to control and dominate that and take it back to what we're supposed to be dominating, which is our skills and this land, the land, not each other. We're supposed to be able to manage and control ourselves, not one another. You're supposed to be able to manipulate and exalt your gifts, not one another's. So if we get back to the human base of things, the human aspect of things, then we can learn how to have that neutral respect where we're not looking at sex of who has more power physically or mentally or who has more money socially or positioning in the world. We in the world with it right there, Craig. We can't be in the world with it. We're
So
Yeah.
gonna have to elevate our
I
thinking.
just I just want to go ahead and salute to that lion, because that sounds like a true lion who just made that clear, profound statement. Anton.
Anton,
Man, you don't get out of here. Listen,
Anton,
I ain't really, you don't get,
Anton, King
man, listen.
Anton,
Hey, hey,
Salute,
listen,
King
first of all,
Anton.
I'm not
salute.
buying it. Listen, I'm not buying it. I'm really not buying it. I'm being honest, I'm really not buying it. Listen, we talking about hurt people, heal people, do hungry people feed people. See,
Hello.
see, do
No,
so
it's
I'm like,
fed people feed people. That's really the way it goes. Because
You
if you
heard that?
already fed, then you'll feed.
Thank
that's
you.
right.
See?
So
Thank you. I love it.
I'm
It's
not
like this. One more thing. I'm gonna let you talk, King. It's like this. One of those things don't belong there. You remember that?
what?
That's that. You know she from New York. That's that New York, man.
That's
Okay.
that New
You
York.
wasn't
Okay.
you probably wasn't listening to that, Magic. It
He
wasn't coming
wasn't.
out of
He
New
wasn't it.
Orleans.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
It's,
We'll school you on that another time, King.
okay, well, hey, you know what? I'm always down to be school. I'm docile.
You're
She
docile.
already gave you the definition of docile.
Docile today, huh?
Yeah, I'm docile.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
She already gave you the definition of docile. So, but I don't believe like I know pain really drives a lot of things. In like I don't think we would have the light bulb without pain. Without people talking and doubting the or the the light bulb. So yeah, I believe in the pain. I believe we when Tom was saying earlier, the cycle of things is gonna keep going and whatever because it's in the music and whatnot. Yeah, that's what we were talking about earlier today. Like it's in the music, like we wallow in it. Yeah, I think we wallow some. The Danielle say she don't believe that. But in my eyes, I think we kind of wallow,
You said, no, I
how I
didn't say
believe.
that we don't wallow in it. I said I don't think we want it, that we like it, that we desire it. It is something that has been impressed upon us, and we're making the best out of it, like we do with everything else. We make our movies, and in our movies, we're showing the pain in the hood. We make our songs, and in the music, you're talking about what you're experiencing in your hood. It's not because I want to wallow in it. The world, the masses need to hear about it. The problem is it's being manipulated by others. And because it's played so much on the radio in repetition, it seems
Right.
like it's being glorified.
It is, but then it's beautiful too. The Tupac had "Dear Mama" was a pain song.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The mama spoke the pain that he saw his mama go through, and the pain from which he saw, the pain for which he felt.
Absolutely.
Like we experience, so when we talking about pain, pain is transferable.
Hmm.
You can
Yes.
transfer
Thank
pain is very
you.
pain is very transferable, even if it's indirectly. So when we talk about when we go back, like I doubt if any of us knew any real slaves. Like we don't know, but do we still feel the pain? Do we still represent the pain?
So that's what I was saying to you earlier about understanding the science of things. Because while we have our stories from history, what we haven't tapped into is the sciences of what's going on internally. And others have, we haven't. There's a big science that's called epigenetics. It's epigenetic science where people can be today, it's 2025. If you watch a slave movie, you could be sitting in the comfort of your home watching this movie. And as you're watching it, you see a scene that makes you, cover yourself or makes you feel a way on the inside that makes you turn away. What are you experiencing there? What is happening on the inside that's triggering you to respond in that way? And it's a science called epigenetics that says what our ancestors went through is in the encoding of our DNA. So therefore, we carry that pain too, especially when we haven't gone back to heal it.
Yeah, when we see somebody getting beat by the police, people.
Yes.
That's why people say, you know what, like, when we talk about all the people that have died by police violence, shot, beat, choked, with whatever it was. When we see that, we enraged, and then they say, "Oh well, y'all kill each other, and it's okay." And I don't think that it's okay. I just think that
No, no,
I
I
no,
don't
don't
it's
think.
think
not
that
okay.
that's a excuse or
That's an excuse, man. That's an excuse. Yeah,
because if you go
that's an
into other
excuse.
communities, I was having that conversation with my son earlier with this term black on black crime. Well, crime happens due to proximity. So if all that's in your area in a certain community is black people, then it would appear that it's black on black crime because that's what's happening. But if you look in other communities where it's not being highlighted, crime is happening there too. And they're not going and hurting other people, they're hurting themselves. So it's again because our pain is constantly exploited
Yeah.
and projected out like we're doing something so much worse or so much different. We are experiencing the same type of human pain in various spaces as others. It's just
Yeah.
ours is just projected.
Yeah. And Danielle's telling the truth too. They talk about this black on black crime, but they don't talk about white on white crime. I watch Forensic Files all day, every day. And the majority of those cases are
We
white
don't get
people.
on there. We on the first 48. We ain't on
Yeah.
forensic
You know
files.
what I'm saying? I may see, a little of our people on
Yeah, yeah.
Forensic Files. These people are white people on Forensic Files, but they're not talking about the white on white crime.
Yeah.
That
Well,
caused them to be on forensic files.
Exactly.
forensic files is thought out crimes. First for 48 is emotional crimes.
It's still crime at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, I think
Right.
both of them are emotional, but I like what you said though, Magic. I think both of them are emotional, even though it's a thought out crime. I think both are emotional. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I
But listen,
I
let's
think
open
both
that
are.
up a little bit. Let's open that up a little bit. That's Asian on Asian crime.
Yes.
There's all races.
It's
Everybody's doing crime on
proximity.
each other. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
So,
it's the
everybody,
law of the
when you
land.
do a
it's a
crime,
media. It's a
right.
dysfunction of the media, and we pick it up because, again, they say a hurt dog or holler. We know they're talking about us, and we claim it, and we want to sound smart when we would. Oh, well, we killing ourselves. No, we are dealing with pain again, and because of the lack of emotional balance and wherewithal to know how to manage what's going on in your world, you're acting out. But that's any human. So
But
it's
yeah.
not just me.
why are they always talking about the black race though? They don't when it's always about the black race, the crime, the abortions, the teen pregnancy. The same thing is going on with the white people, but they're not talking about it. White girls are having abortions.
Well, in
Yeah,
that
but
statement,
the difference is, Queen, is that you call yourself the royal queen, and when anytime women of color, walk in their purpose, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be the different. You know what I'm saying? If the black man is not nothing, and we supposed to be the head, what is the woman? You know what I'm
but see,
saying? Like you. So when you walk in this thing, and I want to get into another sector of thing before we get too far off into the time, because I want to go into business and how this affect. Like we were talking, like these emotional things or this pain, and we take it into business, but. But you're a queen. When you say you're a queen, you say you're the royal queen.
Hmm.
That's different. Like that's different, cause everything in the environment you're around, and in the environment you're gonna go around, and even in the environment you're trying to create is gonna say no, you're not.
Yeah.
well, that's a part of the psychology here. See, Queen knows she's a queen, just like Shalima has several times referenced you as king. And because we want you
But
to
that's just a New
believe,
York thing. She don't
well,
mean that. She just from New York.
She mean that.
and I know she mean it. And the thing about it is, when we
I can,
take
wait
you
a minute.
out
I
of
could
your,
take that a little further and say because I'm from New York, I know kings when I see them. I don't know where you from, but I know them.
I'm from Alabama, Mobile, Pay
All right.
City.
Well then, from a person from New York who can look at somebody from Alabama and identify king, then that means I got something different, right?
Nah,
So just
no, it's go
accept
back
it.
to what the
Accept it.
Danielle say. It's in your bloodline. It's in your blood. Like what you call that word? What you call that
epigenetic,
word, Danielle?
what,
Well, you said, well, we can feel the ancestor.
epigenetics.
Yeah, we that what she got, cause all the original kings and stuff, like they come from, the bottom. They come from right there off the Gulf Coast. Like like
And I want you to just pay attention to this. If I take a queen
But
or a
I
king
got it.
out of their kingdom and I pick them up, treat them bad, tell them they kill each other and they ain't about nothing, put them in an environment called a project, show them trash, give them a poor education, tell them they children ain't about nothing, they start forgetting that they're queens and kings.
yeah,
They
they do.
start believing what they see in their environment and adapting to that. So it
Yeah.
doesn't make you any less than a king or her any less than a queen. There was a movie called The Black Panther. And in that movie, the mother shouted, "Remember who you are." And those
Right,
words were very pointed because if you understand who you are and what you're about, where we would talk about materialism and pain, pain makes you forget who you are. It makes you react on the pain. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we got to come to a point where we got to grow up, tighten up them broad straps, tighten up them jock straps, and deal with the pain of the past so that we can move to our present
Hmm.
Yeah.
and project out into our purpose. So, yeah,
Let
that
me ask y'all something. Do y'all know what city in Japan where the first nuclear weapon was dropped on? What's the name of that city?
is that
Is it
Hiroshima?
Hiroshima?
Yes. Now let's look at that for a second. They dropped the first nuclear bomb on that city, wiped out. I mean, almost the whole city. Now, if you go back and you look at that city, the people who are there, they know nothing about the heritage of those people who were there. Nothing. They don't have any history. So when you look at the people who were saying, okay, they were slaves, right? Prior to slavery, there was some interesting things that were going on. And there's no heritage of it, so you can't make any claim to anything. So what I'm talking about is the people that were here before the transatlantic slavery. A lot of those people were black people, but a lot of people are not aware of that. And that leads to people who are here now who may have heritage, they can't claim anything. because they don't know about it. So a lot of this stuff is intentional. We got to really learn and really seek to know what our history is.
Absolutely. I got a whole nother program called Racial Injustice Recovery that's gonna hit you this year too. I'm sorry, go ahead. That
Oh,
was a shameless plug. Go ahead.
and nah, go ahead, plug it out. Listen, I think we all, hey, I think we all here, sitting as kings and queens here, got our own business here. I think this is a panel of true and true and proven entrepreneurs right here. Five true proven entrepreneurs right here. So I think that's to be saluted. Number one. So yeah, always, this us. Plug your business, plug what you got going on every time. There's no gatekeepers, and I think that's what we're gonna have to get back to. See, because of the pain. See, pain. See, because of this pain that we have, and because of have not. That I think that's where the crab. Well, I think that's where the crab in the barrel mentality starts to fester at and start to grow at because of the pain of having not
Yeah.
and trying to get all you got. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's the law of the land too. It's survival of the fittest. It's the competition for the land. It's the war for the land. It's the war for the resources. It's the war for control. That's what men are made to do. So yeah, so we battle each other, we kill each other. So to say black on black crime, nah, like when you go to the jungle and you look at the animals in the jungle, hey, today they got to be on guard. Somebody can die just walking, get ate, get killed, get murdered, like use food.
Yeah.
And so it's the same thing. We have an animalistic instinct. All humans do.
Absolutely.
So when we go into business, and because I saw my brother got eaten, or I almost got eaten, or I seen people starve. So why would I like? So we go into business because of this pain. We're gonna be gatekeepers. We're gonna keep other people. We're not gonna tell people the whole story. We're not gonna, we're not gonna help each other up for real. But we're gonna pretend. We're gonna give the illusion of that what we're doing. But because of the pain, we can't.
And, and can I say that a lot of times we're not even conscious of it. We're not even really. Some people are not even conscious that they're in that level of pain and they're acting out with it, or that is showing up in their, especially in their business. They don't realize because the childhood abandonment or neglect or emotional neglect they felt back then got them acting out like I'm the boss and their ego is extra big today. And
Yeah.
they're extra hurtful to people today because of that. And they don't even realize it's something that stemmed way back in the root of where your pain history first started. So when we even talk about the children, we I know you're leaning for us to go to the business aspect, but even with the children, we talk about how the children manipulate with their behaviors. They're in pain. And how did they get in pain? How did they learn that manipulation so early? How did they
Is
learn to have
manipulation
to,
natural?
excuse me?
Is it natural?
Is manipulation natural? To
Yeah.
manipulate to manipulate something is to be able to move something without you having to pretty much move it. So it can be a natural thing. It's an energy in how you use it. Is are you using it to benefit or to hurt? That's the issue.
But I
We
would
all
say
have
that
the power to
manipulation is
utilize it.
natural. I would say
It
that
is.
manipulation is natural
It
because I
is.
see children do it all the time. They study us, they watch
Absolutely.
us, and to get what they want, they maneuver you. They will
They
maneuver you.
start
So
out
it's a
with the
natural thing.
crying. They cry for their food, their bottle, they hungry. I'm
Yeah.
manipulating you. I'm letting you know I need something. I need you to move a certain way to make this thing stop.
Yeah. And I think to get that stuff to end though, I think those are like those teachable moments. And it's just like you said, Shalima, they're watching you and just like you asked, Danielle, where do they get it from? And they get it from that point when they're born, because you have to cry because we're not speaking the same language yet. So you're
Right.
gonna have to cry to tell me to get this food for you. But as you get older, now I need you to be able to communicate to me what it is that you want instead of acting out in this manner to get what you want.
Absolutely.
And that's where, as a parent, you have to, those are the teachable moments where if you take the time to teach them that at that age, the stuff that we're talking about now starts to it breaks that cycle that I was talking about.
Hmm.
That's just my personal belief. And that's what's so beautiful about all this stuff. If you're talking about um ending pain, you have to start working on yourself. Just like Shalima said, you got to be, when you're fed, I can come feed you because I'm full now. I'm full, so I can come give you something. You know, and to me, that's where all this stuff, everything that we're talking about, to me, that's where it starts. It starts with the individual finding it within themselves to change this, the pain body, the ego, being aware of their own self. Because once you're aware of it in yourself and you start to change it within yourself, when I encounter it with an individual, guess what starts to be, guess what's created then? Compassion.
Yes. Yes.
You see what I'm
Yes.
saying? Now I'm not going to hit you. I'm compassionate towards you because I know where you are because I was there. You know,
Yep.
and I just think that's where we get lost. And like that's where the it goes from the kings and queens and goes to the animalistic state that we
And
brought up.
behaviors.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's why it falls back to that because we forget the king status. And before I stop, I just want to say this. One of my favorite things I heard, um, a king is not the one with the most servants. A king is the one that brings the most to royalty.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
that's what you
Mm.
have to do.
Who
Yes.
brings
And
the
that's
most
Yes.
what we're
what? I
talking
didn't hear
about.
that part. You
Hey.
went out.
Uh,
Say that
Repeat it one
again.
more
The king
time,
is who?
Anton.
it
A
didn't make it
king
to New
is not
York.
a king is not the one that has the most servants. A king is the one that brings the most to royalty. And
Whoa.
that is what
Okay.
we're having. That is what, to me, we have to do in
Yes.
working on our pain bodies, our egos. We're bringing people up. That's when you end the crabs in the barrel. That's when that stuff starts to fade away because I'm not in competition with you. That's the illusion. We're competing for something. I I'm not in competition with you. I will help you with all the information I have. I will give it to you freely because you can't take anything from me. Because who and what I am, if I believe that I am greatness and all these things are given to me, you can't take nothing from me. I can't in one breath believe that um, what God has for me is for me, and then in the same breath say that you can take from me. So that's just my personal belief.
Right.
That's how I try to roll.
So
I hear
what
that.
that is education. So people who
Hey.
are just not, and I'm not talking about school like you
Yeah,
know, 12 or even
exactly.
college or high school, educating themselves with,
Yeah,
you know, like emotional intelligence,
yeah,
emotional intelligence. Also how to think, critical thinking, all
Yeah,
important.
yeah,
especially
All
critical
don't have
thinking
They're
anything to
skills.
not
do with
getting it.
sex or status in life. We all have the capability to do those things. Gain
yeah,
intelligence over our emotions and awareness, as well as the thinking levels.
yeah.
It goes high, man. Hey, we got some deep information that just dropped
Yep,
off.
very important.
Hey, but
I
these
had
critical thinking skills. Um,
Oh man, yeah. You need them, man. You need them because if you don't, you're always gonna fall into the traps that are out here. You got to be able to sit back and observe because that's the biggest thing that you have to do is just shut up and observe what you're seeing. That's all you got to do. I remember growing up, and I don't. This blows my mind. I can remember parents telling kids, "Oh, you gonna follow the crowd. So if they jump off the bridge, you gonna jump." mean, I don't even hear that anymore. I just hear people. It's just follow what you see. Whatever. What? Don't think about it. If everybody over here doing this, that's what you need to go do. Don't think
Right.
critically about it. Don't sit back and say, "Wait a minute. Maybe I need to slow down.
That comes
Maybe
from
I shouldn't go this way."
that comes
You
from the
know?
pain. That comes from wanting to fit in, wanting to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
accepted, wanting to look like the others, not wanting to stand out, not understanding that standing out and uniqueness is a benefit, right? You say, no, I
Nah,
Yes.
just
because
don't
you've been hurt
understand.
so much. It's so much pain that you can't be. It's
Yeah.
hard to be unique because who wants to go
Woo.
through that when you've been beat up already? You were born beat
Yeah.
up. You've been
Yeah.
beat up
Yeah.
every day. Then all of a sudden, so I wanna just, you know what I'm saying, just coast through. Yeah, I don't, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, it ain't. Yeah, I'm like everybody else. You know what I'm saying. So yeah, so it take a special person to say, you know what, I'm gonna authentically be myself and I'm gonna go against the
Absolutely.
grain.
That's
So
why I'm looking for my masters because not everybody know how to do that. That's why I'm looking for my masters because not everybody's ready to do that. And not everybody is willing to shed the things that make them comfortable to do that.
when they
Hmm.
put Jesus on the cross, like you got to understand, every leader in some shape, fashion, or form will put on the cross. You can't name me. You can't show me a leader that in their own time, where they way, you know what I'm saying, they hung Jesus up on the cross, but in the time that they was in, Martin Luther King assassinated, a bunch of them was assassinated. You see what they did to Muhammad Ali. You see, you know what they
Why
did
did
to
they
Bill
do it?
Cosby.
They did
You
it to make
see,
you docile. They did it and they
yeah,
made it public so that nobody would want to lead. They did it so that you would be fearful to be that person. You don't want to be Malcolm. You don't want to be Martin. When in actuality, we need those. We need more of them. We need so many more.
Okay, I just wanna say something. Don't be mad at me, okay? But I gotta say this. It's a funny moment at a serious time. You don't wanna be Puffy. Pause.
The New Yorker can say that. The New Yorker can say
man.
it.
Hey, nah,
Woo!
you definitely don't
Okay,
want
I'm
to.
gonna stop it. I'm
You
sorry.
definitely don't want to be perfect, you know. But I rock with 50. Shout out to 50 though.
Okay.
Like I rock with
I
50.
50.
think
Woo!
just I think
My
when
neck of the woods.
I just think
Absolutely. So what I'm saying
when
is that it's that pain. And people don't want to stand out because you were shown if you stand out, you'll be shot down and put on the cross.
Mhm. You start
Now,
getting
So
one
I
thing
condemned.
need
I
those
have
that
to
ain't
be a
worried
devil's
about that.
advocate. Danielle, I have to be a devil's advocate. I
You
interjected
always
Diddy's name
like
in
to.
there, so
Come
I have
on.
to.
This
So,
where the
so I got to
challenge
say
come in. Let's
something
go.
about this because are you all aware that he just got finished suing those rich gangsters over there, Ciroc?
Mhm.
We
Were you
are
all
Yeah,
well
aware of that?
yeah,
aware.
we're aware of that. But we don't
Yeah.
want to talk
Well
about
aware.
So what?
Puffy.
Well
What I
aware.
want to,
But
I want
I
to
don't.
talk
I
about
want to.
Puffy.
But you don't have to talk about it. I'm just saying. So do you think that he's being hung on the cross now?
No,
I
Puffy
do not
crawled up
believe
under a
that
No.
rock.
they
He crawled up on the cross.
Okay.
He
hung on the cross.
Okay.
he crawled up on the cross.
What
But
you say,
listen,
Magic? Hey, say that
Puffy
again,
crawled up
Magic.
on the
Rolled
cross.
upon it.
Yeah, he crawled up on the cross.
He started
Hey,
he started thinking he was
yeah,
too
he put
big.
himself there. Hey,
Yeah.
he Puffy, Puffy wanted to be a Jesus piece. You can believe that.
You can hate me now,
Right.
but I
Right.
But
won't
I
So,
won't
stop
but I'm
stop
now.
gonna tell
now.
you what I noticed though, like from the New York people up here, like y'all up north girls, right? They up north
We are
girls.
Girls or women?
women.
When see what
Tell
I'm
me if
saying?
you know women.
Okay,
Banging the
but
girlies
listen,
Women.
thing. We waiting. Go ahead.
but you see the down south girl on here though. Like
Yes.
she patiently wait her time. She patiently, you know what I'm saying? She, you know,
You calling us rowdy? I'm
so yeah,
sorry.
that's what I'm just saying. So look, so now with that being said, you know what I'm saying? Because that's a different type of pain where she learned to be controlled. She learned not to be so
To be
boisterous. She learned,
reserved.
yeah,
Hmm.
she learned to be reserved and looking. You look at the two New Yorkers on here. Where you from New York City? But so I want to hear from the Southerner at this point. Now, like I want to see, cause see, I want to hear from the Southerner say. I want her to say, like, you know, like, what make you not New York? What
Whoa.
make you not new like this aggressive? Like what make you what? Like cause this a different type of skill
Whoa.
set. Hold
I'm
on,
trying to
I'm
figure
hearing a
out.
no,
little.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, I got you.
Let him
Don't worry
drive.
about
Let
it.
him
No,
drive. I want to see where we going. Go
right.
ahead.
Let me try that. Let them cook. Ain't that what they say now?
Let him
Let
cook.
it
Let him
cook.
cook.
Hey, let me cook. So, um, what have you seen? Like, what have you seen like for your approach to be? I'm gonna wait my turn. What make you that type of like? What is it? The pain? Is it the knowledge? Is it the wisdom? What make you say, you know what? I know how to wait. Now we waiting.
Queen, that's for you.
Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, say it one more time, Magic. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So what make you like say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna wait my turn. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't, like you're not aggressive. Like, and it's a different
Oh,
approach. It's a different approach, and like I say, like I tell Anton all the time, your intentions speak louder than anything you can ever do. No matter how loud you talk, no matter you know what mask you wear. You know what I'm saying? Your intentions scream louder than anything.
Yeah.
Than what you do. So that's why somebody can go into a room and be the quietest person in the room and be the loudest at the same time. So I'm just saying, like, what brought you to that point?
I don't know. I pretty much can. I like to. Okay, say for instance, if I go to a party, right? Um, if you know me, then you know I am an outgoing person, but I also have to warm up. Um, but once I warm up, I'm comfortable, but I can read the room. I like to read the room. Um, when I'm around people, and as far as patience, I feel like everything is in God's timing.
What I'm
Everything is
getting
in
from Magic,
everything.
what I'm getting from him, just like I just did when he talked about this aggressiveness, like you jump
He
in,
don't
you
know that side of
interrupt, you
me,
can't wait to get out what you want to say, right? But now
Right.
uh-huh.
you give a presence of poise, you give a presence of peace, you give a presence of power at the same time. So in
Yeah,
all of that quietness and reservation, there's still a presence of when I turn on, the power is gonna come out,
yeah.
right? So he's asking you, what has shaped that in you? Was it pain that you experienced or seen in life that has brought you to that poise? Is it the wisdom within? What has got you there, especially on your birthday night? Share.
um, I think all of it. I met Magic 2 years ago. I think, was it 2 years ago? It was on my birthday actually 2 years ago.
Good Lord.
I met Magic. Yeah, it was on my birthday 2 years ago. I went through some healing. Um, I definitely had to heal with some things I had to figure out in life. You remember earlier today I told you I had to go to the root of the problem.
Hmm.
Um, that was something I needed to deal with in life. It lifted a lot off of me when I did that. And I'm gonna have to really say God, my brother in magic, because you looking at someone that was very shy and very quiet, but I always felt like, I could make a difference and I had something to say. So it's just, I don't know, it's being pulled out of me. I'm finally figuring out what my purpose is. You couldn't have told me 2 years ago I would have been on Magic's web series. Playing Delilah. There's no
Yeah.
way. I remember Anton told me one time, he was like, I need the project shape to come out. They had to pull that out of me. Like,
Don't be
Yeah.
telling them that stuff, girl. I ain't never say that.
But
but
yeah,
I'm gonna say like that right there, me being on JIT, it shaped and it molded me into the person that I am today, and my brother telling me that, I can do it. And I just feel like God is just using me right now to I interview people in my hometown, entrepreneurs that have a testimony, that have real life stories. So I just feel like it was process, it was God, it was people having my back and just really pushing me into my full potential. And I feel like I got a lot to say.
Yes, ma'am.
All right,
I
so the
yo,
pain of the doubt. Go ahead,
listen,
Anton.
I was gonna say, I'm from Arkansas, right? So, and I lived in New York for a little bit. It's that environment is fast. Yeah, I mean, you can be slow if you want to, but it's fast. And if you want to be seen in New York for anything, you're gonna have to speak up. It's like being in a family. Uh, uh, it's like eight of y'all, and you the middle child. Or, you don't get the shine and all this stuff. You're gonna have to speak up. You're gonna have to do something. That's how that's what it feels like to me. Because in the South, growing up in the South, everything is slow,
Well, in the
especially where
South
I'm
they
from.
say
It's like it's slow. Everybody's slow. It's just laid back. It's just different, you
But I
know.
was in
So
intern, that's
everybody way
because
in New
you're not
York.
in the intern. That's because you're not in the hood.
Everybody what?
I was in
uh,
everybody way in New York. When I went to New York, like, but I was in everybody. They trying to move and listen, but the thing is, I got heart though, so they running up. I'm like, man, hold on, y'all, everybody need to slow up. Like, it's what you doing?
Try to
Like,
slow
I
up
mean,
your
like,
own pace.
hey,
look,
cuz New York don't
I already
play.
don't know. I already don't know where I'm going, and I already know what I'm saying. Like, listen, everybody need to hold on, quick.
Yeah, we
Hey,
ain't got that kind of time. We ain't got that kind of
Uh-uh.
time up
hey,
there.
Uh-uh.
As well as,
hey.
like you said, Anton, there's so many people and so many personalities, there's so many
Yeah.
cultures, there's so many people want to pop. So everybody wants to be heard, right?
Hmm.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's because of the pain they experience when they couldn't be heard. Once they can, they don't know how to shut that mic off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So,
Yeah.
the mentality I know, Lima right here, like she's a warrior. She's like listen,
Quiet
no
ass.
matter what you got to be, like and the Danielle too. Like they got this fight in them. They got this bite on them. You know what I
I
mean?
love
Like
it.
and they not to be played with. And I get it. But for them, I know that like for the mentality of the woman that's a little bit slower, a little bit laid back, a little bit um, more, weight.
Reserve.
They pick their fights a little bit better. Like you know what I'm saying. With this,
Pick they fights a
all
little bit
He
better.
said better.
that,
That's a whole
yeah.
nother shot that I'm act like I didn't hear. But okay, go ahead.
Hey, they pick their fights a little bit better. So that's what they say. That's what most kings want. That's the vision of a queen to most kings. You don't visualize a Queen Elizabeth when like to this day when you say queen, you don't, cause she ruled. She was the first queen to really rule like that. So you don't visualize queen like it's still when you say queen is up under a king. Like there's no way you can be a queen without a king. Like and
Uh,
so many women just queens and they no king nowhere. Like how did it happen? The math did not add up to me. And for
hmm.
the women for different environments, some women are willing to be crowned, and some women just think that they just crown themselves.
So let me
Oh,
go back to this dominate thing. I'm sorry, Lima. You go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead, baby.
no, no, I might go out a
Magic, you
little
know how to
bit, but
stir a pot.
Yeah, he
so
do. Yeah, he do.
so I might have to go out in a couple of minutes because I'm driving. So I gotta address a couple of things. Okay. One of the things
Okay.
is there's a difference between aggressive and assertive. I'm gonna tell you what I am. I don't take on what people think I am. I am assertive. So being assertive is a very good thing. Aggressive, not so much. The next thing is it's easy for the mother to be the queen first, right? If you give birth to a son, you give birth to a prince, right? But she's already a queen. So I just want to give you that, just tip it. It's not. It's always one way. I stay away from absolutes, and when you stay away from absolutes, then you can create peace around you.
Let
Hey,
me
listen.
also add to this
I'm gonna be
aggressive.
honest with you.
Oh,
Then you go ahead, Danielle. I'm be honest with you. So I'm gonna be honest with you. So if you have a son and you don't have a king, you done had a bastard that has the opportunity to be a king one day. Go ahead, Danielle.
what I wanted to say, we done touched on a few things that I went through different channels on. But as far as the assertive and aggressive, I am a very assertive person. There are times when aggression is needed, and I am clear on when to pull that out and how. So it's not that being aggressive is a bad thing, it's knowing when to use it. In reference to being a king and a queen, again, what I teach in the master classes is about elevation of thinking, not just thinking, but the elevation of it. And if we think on the land of man, woman, and we're using that word dominate and control, there's always going to be conflict and discourse there, always. So how can we meet each other in a space where there's not going to be conflict? And that space is being able to understand that as a queen, I'm a queen of my scene. I'm a queen of what it is that I can manage and do. I'm a queen of the area in which I create. I'm a queen in the world in which I create and walk in. And that's not taking anything from your world. That's not taking anything from that queen sitting on the screen right now. That's from a different land and a different area than me. That we dominate based on our gifts, and we dominate and control based on our talents and how we manipulate them in the world in which we walk. And we shouldn't be pointing them at each other, but we do. And that's due to pain. That's because you didn't recognize me in my queenship, in my world. And I probably didn't recognize you in your kingship, in yours. But when we come together and have to share worlds, now that doesn't make me less than a queen. I'm still that queen. But how are we going to share this kingdom we about to build together?
Okay, well, do the math for me. How did you get to be like you how do women get to be queens without kings?
Because I don't need it. It's about you're a king. A king is the ownership, the superior person over the land. This body of mine is my land. This is my world over here. I decide who's connected to it when I want them to be and not. So that doesn't make me any less the superior over here. I'm the CEO over here. I'm the God over here in this world.
All of that is staying true until you apply for food stamps. So I'm like,
I'm not playing with you right now. That ain't got, even for that
That
woman
ain't got nothing
that
to do
has
with
to
her.
apply for food stamps. That is her physical situation here. That don't change
no,
her
I'm
value
saying
of
so,
who
but
she
that's when she
is
lose all
in her
control. When she
world.
start getting the benefits, see, it's like at the end of the, that's what my point is. That you see, we'll say all this, then we'll choose for this systematic thing to be our guiding light. Then so now you got a king that's dominant, and he's not afraid of being dominant, but you think it's about control, and it's not about control. It's about men trying to control the outcome of their longevity. So it's not about controlling the woman. See, the woman say make everything about her, but it's men trying to control the outcome of the longevity. See, men thinking about longevity. Kings think about longevity. They thinking about 100 years from now. What is this gonna look like? And women are in the moment.
Who told
So
you that?
That's
Who
not
told you that?
necessarily
Well, I'm gonna
true.
have to put a break on that. First, there's a comment
Yeah,
that says, "My king is my God." So let's be clear. A queen is going to choose her king to come into her world, and now we can dominate and graze and grow and all that good stuff. Again, I'm still in my world over here. That doesn't make me less than a queen. So now when I come with you, and or you come with, we connect and we decide to converge on this. That right there about the social life and what's happening, that's nothing. It's about the value we create together. And who told you that I'm only thinking about now? Remember, we raising the children primarily. We thinking about 300 years ahead. So I'm not saying that your 100 years is not something that you're looking at. We're looking at and we're looking at it in multiples. What's going to happen with Johnny, Timmy, and Sarah? I got to worry about all of them 300 ahead. So I don't want you to be in this misconception because you're such a king that you haven't connected with a queen that lets you know that that's not how we really think. Don't be fooled.
So hold on, we're talking about emotions here. So I definitely have to ask, Magic, what kind of pain is associated with these king males who want to be superior over queens? What kind of
Oppression,
pain is attached to that?
oppression, oppression, and suppression. What I've been saying the whole time that we cannot walk around in our natural state. We have to hold this back. We have to hold this feeling back. We have to hold this mentality back. We have to hold who we naturally are back,
But
and
get with
it's
somebody
suppressed.
that you
So,
don't have to
so,
do that.
huh?
Get with somebody that you don't have
No,
to
I'm
do
listening. I
that
want to
with.
hear you,
No, but
King.
it just ain't a particular person. Like, okay, so you may find a woman that will allow you to be who you naturally are, but still you dealing with the factors of the world. You dealing with the factors of outside. You dealing with the factors of your community, your job, your work, your random people like such. You know what I'm saying? So, and then if you don't like, so and that's a crazy. And that's another thing too. Suppose this and some men have this, and they get home and they can be who they naturally are. And just like at home, if you practice it at home, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna go out in the street and do it. And when you go out in the street and do it, it's gonna be perceived in a whole nother way. It's gonna be like you attacking somebody, like you trying to hurt. But at home you had a peace. At home you are able to be your natural self. So when you are able to be your natural self, when you go out into the world, it's not the same. That they're not gonna accept it.
Well, what is it? Because I don't think I fully understand what you are saying you're not allowed to be, or what these.
My natural dominant men are not allowed to be their natural dominant ruling nature self.
Who said that and
What
why
does that
aren't
look
you?
like? Yeah, what does that look like? What does that look like? What does that sound like?
It
Because I
looks
don't know
like
who's not
rhyme with that
allowing it.
reason. It looked like rhyme with that reason. Like now, this go the way I said go, cause it just go that way. No,
And that's
nobody
what
care
you
about it.
think.
Like
That
so,
if you're in a relationship with your woman and you feel like because you are thinking of the future 100 years ahead, because when you come in the house and say this is how it should go, there should be no question to it because that's what you put down. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
to an extent, but then I want you to understand this right here too. I want you to understand the power of a woman. See, men have to recognize the power of a woman. So it's like the Thundercats. I get everybody this an analogy here about the Thundercats. When Lion-O got the source, we got the sword of omens in his hand. He put the sword before his face and said, "Give me sight beyond sight." So when God give you this, the most valuable resource on the earth is a woman, especially a black woman. That's the most valuable resource on earth. So when God give you that, he give you sight beyond sight. So why wouldn't you not listen to your woman? Why not? It's not the fact that, you see what I'm saying, but the fact that she just let you walk in this space. She okay with you walking in this space. Not saying that you're gonna just treat her like she's a piece of worthless nothing. It ain't that, because she's the most valuable. You understand, it's the most valuable resource that you can have as a man. That's why man love woman unconditionally. It's no condition. Man just love a woman no matter what he can do or can't do. He just love her because he understands that's the most valuable resource that it'll ever be on earth. More rare than diamonds. Anything you can think of. A woman is that times 100. See, because she give man sight beyond sight.
So why would you exclude her from decisions because you
You
think that
don't
only
exclude
you're
her. You
worried
just
about
walk
your
around and be your natural. See, I never said it's exclude. I just said walk around, roar like you want to. Say, you know what I'm saying? We can be your natural dominant self.
Every time you say that, I think of a caveman with a club walking in the
I
supermarket,
know it.
apple coming over our head, snatching the house. What do you mean by that, sir? I need to know what you mean.
Yeah, it's
What
just
does
his
that
I
natural
look
don't
like?
know.
dominant self.
Being your
So
I
natural
don't know what
dominant.
that looks like.
Are you gonna
I
walk in
know
the
it.
house and grab me behind my back of my neck
You
and
got to
just
get this from
like
got the
what's going
grandmama and
on
them.
that
You
you
got to go
being
talk
your
to
natural
them.
dominant self?
You gotta go talk to who, Magic?
I got the grandmama and them. You got to go talk to your great grandmama and them. They don't even like. You got to go talk to them and say, cause they knew how to get a man to do anything they wanted to do. They say if they wanted that yard cut, they say, baby, can't nobody cut grass like you. You can cut some, you can show cut some grass. Then, but now the women say, you know what I'm saying, like, dang, I gotta, why the yard ain't cut? You know what I'm saying? So,
Pain.
you
Why the
know,
yard
it's
ain't good? But
I get it.
I
So,
just
but
go
you
ahead.
know, but the women. So you had to go talk to them older women that knew. You got to listen to them old songs. Betty, they
But
had talked about the
our
pain.
men have to listen to them old songs too, and our men have to show up the way the
Thank
men
you.
used to show up back in our grandmama them days. Our
Mhm.
grandmama them days, they didn't have to tell the men to get out the bed at 8 o'clock in the morning. They was out the bed at 6 o'clock. They already moving. We didn't have to worry about whether you was going to take care of home, because even if you was out in the street, you made sure this house was right. See, they don't do that no more. They just out there laying up and spreading it wide, laying it low. So all of
And I
those things,
can't argue
men
against
back
that.
then are no better. I mean, the men today need to result back to those men too. There's some traditional things of men that y'all need to bring forward.
Right.
Like
So
we
why
need
the
to go
pain
back.
won't let us be traditional? Your pain
Started
plus
in
my pain won't
185.
let us be traditional. The
Watch that
pain.
word tradition, because tradition is only of the time.
See what I'm saying? The
TNT.
pain.
This
It
is
won't
not
let
the
we
pain.
the pain. We can't even say the word tradition. That way we just spell it then.
No,
So
I'm saying that when we're looking at tradition, tradition was of the time. We're no longer in that time, so we have to create new traditions as a healthy family. We
time
can't
change
bring
every day.
everything forward, right?
You got to
We got
break
to
those
take what's
generational
good.
curses.
Say again, Queen.
You got to break those generational curses.
Yes. Like Anton said, he kept saying at the beginning, if we don't stop, this thing is going to keep happening. It's never going to
Mhm.
change, because those generational curses have to be broken. And that's addressing the pain. And not just as a family, you have to address it as an individual first.
It's easy to fall into those
Exactly.
generational
That's where it
curses.
starts. Yes.
It's
You got to
easy.
start with yourself. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Shay. My bad.
It's easy to fall into those generational curses, especially when that's what you saw your whole life. And this may be, small and a little dumb or petty, but I remember when I was younger, right? And my mom used to call me in her room. She was laying in the bed. She would call me in her room just to turn the light out. And I would be like, I'm sitting right here. You know what I'm saying? And she called me all the way in her room to turn the light out, right? So I used to be like, I'm never going to do that to my kids. I'm never going to do that to my kids, right? But then I ended up doing that to my kids.
Yep.
So it was very easy for me to
Pick it up.
fall into that pattern
Yep.
because my mom did it, I did it. So guess what? My daughter is gonna do it to her kids. My son is gonna, even though it's small. Now I'm just this
Yeah. That's a
this is
small
small and
factor, but
subtle.
look
Yeah,
how
but
it
I
moves.
understand what you're saying.
Look how it
I'm just
moves.
giving an example. Like I used to be so mad when my mom would come in. She just laid out, relaxing, and I gotta come all the way
So let me
in
ask you
your
a question,
room.
Shay. Why do
Mm,
you do that? Why do you call them? Just if you were to think about it, what is one of the reasons why you would call the youngin in to do that? Why?
maybe because I could. I'm thinking my mom did it too, just because she could. She didn't feel like
So
moving.
it's subconscious then. If you say it from that platform, you're saying that it's in your subconscious and it just naturally happens because it's in there. You're
Yeah,
doing it now. You're not even thinking about it. You just come on in here and get that light for me, right?
yeah,
Now
and
for
it could
me,
be.
uh,
I was gonna say it could be she was tired. She was working all day. So once
maybe
she
it was
laid
that.
down, she didn't want to get back up.
Because
I'm
the youngin is
comfortable.
younger than you. Now here it
Exactly.
is. You done worked all day and you're tired. So your mama wasn't doing that to be vindictive or bother you. Her
Right.
energy was lower where yours was more. So she
Right.
did that. So it wasn't even a curse. It was a help kick in for the family. I done put in the work outside. Can you come hit this light for me right quick? Because I'm tired.
Right.
So
See, and
you
I
got to
think
see it which
that's
side you looking at it from. I'm sorry.
no, I agree with you, Danielle, because I think this is an example to me of why you need to understand why something happens. Because
Yes.
when you don't understand why it's happening, you go out and what Shay is saying is you reproduce something when you don't even know
Why?
why it was done. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
One of my favorite stories I heard was by Bob Proctor. He said his wife used to cut the end off of her ham, right? and he said he grew up poor, and he never understood why she would cut the end off the ham. And he asked his wife, and his wife would just say, hey, well, it's because my mama did it. This is what my mama did.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you know what, next Thanksgiving I'm gonna ask your mama why she do this. And he came and he asked her mom why she did it, and she said, oh, because the pan was too small. We
Yeah. We
see,
just
we
do
sit
crazy. We do
see,
crazy
we,
stuff.
yeah, you sitting there watching something and don't know why.
So
And
listen,
don't know
but
why.
in Shay's case, I think the lesson could be with teaching obedience. Um, See, that's to go back to no rhyme or reason. That's what kings do. They teach obedience. So um, so I would say, that's a reason for going in there having to cut the lights off, because I do it to my kids to make sure they understand there's always going to be a day and a moment in your life every day you wake up that is going to require a level of obedience. And so I can see that's what I mean. So if you didn't have a why, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's a
No,
good
you
why.
need a why,
That's a
man.
good
That's a
why.
Yeah,
bad why.
I mean
You
that
need
makes
that's a bad why. You gotta have a good why, man. You
yeah,
listen
and
got
it,
that
it
that's
could be obedience.
that made a
Teaching
lot of sense.
obedience.
That made a lot of sense with Anton is saying why, because a lot of times we just do it because we
Well, I
we
don't know
saw
any.
it.
I haven't met a man who just wanted me to follow, just to follow. I've never met that. That's why I keep asking, what does that look like? I don't
Well, he ain't gonna
Well,
ask
not
you to
just
follow. He
follow,
gonna
but
follow
already be in
blindly. Like,
motion. He ain't
like I
asking you to follow. You go, you know what I'm saying? You just getting on the train. Like, you know what I'm saying? Man got to be the owner of the locomotive. He got to get this thing rolling. So I'm saying, so it's a
at
matter,
some point, you're gonna interact, though, right?
huh?
At some point, the intersection come. When that intersection come, when the man meet the woman, at what point is that conversation saying, just you just do what the hell
I'm
I
gonna look at you
say
in the
and
caboose.
don't
No, you
ask
gonna
no
put you in the
questions?
caboose.
Let's go.
I'm
How
not gonna
does
put
that?
you in the caboose.
if I could just share with y'all right quick too. I just want, and y'all can have this back. That all that behavior of not asking why, not offering the information as to why, that also comes from pain, past pain. Let's take us back to slavery. Remember that statement, do as I say, not as I do? Right? So I'm
yeah.
Mhm.
telling you, don't ask me no questions. You ever heard that one? Don't ask me no questions, right?
It might be
Mhm.
in the letter.
Right? So it is in the letter.
Shut up.
It's in the letter.
It's in
It's
the
in how
letter.
we
Do as
It's
I
in the
say.
how
That's
we
letter.
create
crazy.
separation and division. So he being funny, but I'm gonna have him go through that letter for real. But absolutely. This goes back to your mama didn't give you a reason as to why she was calling you in there. She just asked you to come. And as an obedient child, you did, but you
Mhm.
still didn't ask why, even though that's swole up in your body.
Yeah.
It came up in your mind and you built some resentment up about it a little bit. It built so much resentment, you said, I ain't going to do it to my own, not
Mhm.
realizing the why, right?
Yeah.
So now here it is, you in your 40 plus whatever, excuse me, not telling nobody nothing, but we in our
44.
grown bodies, right?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
we repeat the behavior. But if we had a known why, then we could have healed that hurt or healed that resentment earlier. Baby,
Yeah.
mama's tired. I done
Yeah.
put it in, boy. I'm so tired. I done laid down and gave up all my energy. Could you come in here and turn out this light? But then you
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
have some people feel like, oh, that's too much to give a child. Or
Yeah.
they need to be obedient. You ain't got to tell them all that. But
Cuz we
again,
wasn't
communication brings us closer. And you want
we
to create
wasn't
avenues to bring us closer. I'm sorry.
yeah, we wasn't allowed to ask why, and Anton made a great point given that telling us that story, because I feel like with a lot of things we needed to know why. Certain things that our parents did, we knew why. Why they did that. But it was things that we didn't know why. Like he said, he's been doing this for years. He just said, "Hey, I've always saw my mom do it."
Right.
With the greens. When I was younger, my mom cut the greens up. She cleaned them. She would spray salt on there, but it was to kill the snails, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I still do that today. When I cut my greens up and I soak them, I put salt on there but there's no snails in there. But I'm still doing it
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
because that's what I saw my mom do when I was coming up,
Now
Yeah.
that's
But
tradition, and now
yeah,
you gonna
but
pass it on. Uh-huh.
yeah, but I knew why she was
Yes.
spraying the salt on there. You know what I'm saying? I knew why. I didn't know why she was calling me in there to turn the light out, which what
Right.
Anton says is a great point. When kids ask us that, Mom, why? Well, a lot of them say, why come? That's what little kids say. Why come? Um, but I feel like we need to start educating them and telling them why instead of you don't question me, whatever, whatever.
And
It's
not only
levels
that,
to that.
creating the opportunities for them to feel comfortable enough to have that, to ask why, to let
Hmm.
them know there is no harm in asking why.
Yeah.
And being able to respond to them age appropriately. Not everything they need to know why, maybe,
Hmm.
but then still address it, because if you don't address that why with them, the question don't go away. They're gonna go get the answer from somewhere else.
Hmm.
So you
But
better
Exactly.
make sure it's from you. And it
yeah,
is
and
that's right. I'm sorry.
and I was gonna say too, like I think earlier we talked about thinking critically. That's what teaches thinking critically, because it's okay to ask why.
Hmm.
Why is it? Because a kid, it's just like you said. You're not going to tell them the grand thing of adulthood, but you're going to give the kid the bite size that the kid needs.
Right.
This is why, you
Right.
know.
So when does why become
Uh,
a problem? And as a
When
parent, like because we talking about pain here because we still talking about pain because because when you get the why, and especially as a man, sometimes no matter who the why can come from, it's like an attack on you because of what we've been through, like the pain of what we feeling.
yeah, nice
So
point.
so
Yeah,
so when
yeah.
does the why become like so? Anytime you tell your child to do something, or whatnot, you say, well, I want to be this new parent. I want to be, I don't want to do it the way my parents do it.
Mm-mm.
So I'm gonna allow my kids to ask me why everything. You get up, I'm gonna make your bed up. Why? Okay, but brush your teeth. Why? You could go in there and pick you something to eat. Why? Why? I mean, like, come on.
why
Okay,
is
we
Magic.
gonna
mommy?
get to that why. We gonna
Yeah,
get to that why.
yeah. It is.
We gonna penny pinch on every why. What I'm saying
Yeah.
is that when we're even given instruction, your children might not need to ask why if you're offering that ahead of time. So you talk about make your bed every day. When your room is clean, your mind is clean. When your area is straight, you can think straight. So that's why I need you about this bed, 8 o'clock, make sure it's made every day. I offered that, so now you don't even have to ask me the why. I
Yeah.
gave you
Why I
the
don't have
why
to
when
ask
I
why?
told you what to do. Right? So now, even if a child does have a why, maybe now is not the time for you to ask me that why. And maybe I ain't got time to answer it as you need, but I'm going to come back to you because I'm living with you. I'm going to see you later. I'm going to make sure you get that why. But right
Yeah.
now, just get it done because I asked that it get done. So now I
It,
need obedience, and I'll come back to the why. We'll sit down when we can sit down.
it always makes me laugh. Oh, go ahead.
Just don't have that egoistic mindset that I'm the parent. I don't need to tell you why. Do as I say, not as I do. Like, we're not giving them information. Your why could be your greatest motivator.
Hey, yeah. Because what tickles me is like we'll get mad at kids for asking why, but go to the job and people ask you why. Why am I doing this? And don't get upset at all. And explain to them, a grown person, why they need to do something, but find it hard to explain why to your kid.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank
it
you,
makes me laugh. It makes me laugh.
yes.
It depends on what the why is and how it comes out from anybody.
Of course, yeah.
Depends. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like if I'm saying, hey, like if I'm in a rush and I like to say, just say something happened and I don't have time, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I better go get my baby up and say, hey, look, put your clothes on, put your shoes on, grab it back here, come on, let's go get in the car. And they talking some why? I ain't got, listen. So at what point in time, at what point in time, that we stop putting the onus on the pain and our trauma, and it is do what I say to your children. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
Well, to
when we just in a state where, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. This is the pain that black men deal with. We at no point everything is never like, how are we kings? How are we rulers? How are we? You want us to feel like this in everything thing. Even the children got more power than us. Even everything.
Look at you, you
Like
talking about power. I'm hearing this ego jump out. Who got more power than
I'm
you? And
saying, how the black man
everybody
feeling.
got what all.
Magic.
I'm a youth advocate, and as a youth advocate, all I'm going to say is give our youth the same respect that you would. Don't mistreat them because they're younger. Don't think that they're not as curious because they're younger. Don't think they don't need the information because they're younger. So because you got beat and told don't ask no questions, that don't mean you have to do that with yours. It means that there's a different way in which y'all could bond and have a better relationship, number one. And so that we can have those open communications, number two, and we can talk about those pains. If as dad I told you go make it, excuse me, as mom I told you go make it happen, and we'll talk about it later, that's what we're gonna do. But I'm gonna live up to that. Listen, we had a situation earlier today, and I told you something. You asked this. That wasn't the best time. Now I can explain that at a later. I'm living with you. I'm living with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, in your example, Magic, I feel like I understand where you're coming from. If you're rushing off to the hospital to get somebody, hey, put on your clothes, let's go. And you hear why in that state, yeah, you might snap. Hey, just do what I'm telling you to do right now. And you get in the car. Now I'm explaining. Listen, the reason I'm asking you to do it, or just like Danielle said, when you come back home, everything's chill. I'm explaining to you. This is why I came out like that. This is where it is. This is where it's coming from. Um, because again, to me, if it's just follow what I say, just do what I say, just do what I say, you're teaching your child that anybody with authority, that's what you should do. And I don't
Right or
want you to
wrong.
just follow anybody.
Right or wrong. That's
Yeah,
how
right
you
or
got
wrong.
these
Yeah,
cops talking about, well, this is just my job. I just did my job. Like you can't think
yeah,
for yourself.
yeah. Like what?
Do your damn job. You better be thinking
Yeah,
in the action and activity of that. And I need my
exactly.
children doing the same. We want to teach them to start thinking as early as they can, not just
Yeah,
follow
exactly.
faculties.
Exactly.
What?
Exactly. And to me that's what I mean by teachable moments. And those are the teachable moments that end cycles.
Yeah.
When we are able to, if I grew up in a house where I couldn't ask a question and I just had to follow and do and all that stuff, um I then say, you know what? I have to find another way to teach mine because I didn't like that because I wanted to know why. And if I understood why, it would help me move in a different way, even
Absolutely.
in your house with you as my parent. I know now when I'm told to do something, there must be a bigger reason I don't see yet. But I know my dad or my mom they'll tell me later. I just got to move because they're telling me to go right now you know.
Right. And
So
that comes back to the relationship you have with your children. Because if you build a healthy relationship with your children just by your tone, they can know now is not the time to ask why. Because of the way
with,
daddy or the way mama jumped and the way they was moving, I know I ain't even gonna play that game right now. I'm gonna hit that later, right? Because you have established a relationship that's not volatile. It's very clear. This is how I am. This is how we act, and this is how we move in this house.
yeah, yeah,
Hey, uh, like I said, it's just pain that we
Yes,
dealing with
yes,
as men, like like and men, and I'm just advocating for men. We deal with different type of pain on so many different type of levels of suppression. We have to suppress a lot of what we feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just not in our nature to be as nurturing as a woman.
right.
It's just not, you know what I'm saying? So it's just not natural. We're not we are wired different. That's why it's a good balance when you have, we just come for discipline.
But
We're
does that mean
disciplined.
that you should not find ways to still deal with your pain because of the fact that y'all are often made to suppress it? How do you then manage it? How do you learn how to process it if you're always suppressing it and you feel like I have no way of expressing or living in my natural state?
We do. That's when you see the overachievers. You see the guys who play sports. You see, we're gonna have to find a space. That's why sports are so big with men. That's why sports so big. It's especially like when you meet a football guy. That's a different guy. Whether he played the game, watched the game, studied the game, that's a different guy because it gives this animalistic like you get to go take, you get to hit. It's aggressive.
Mhm.
It's what we do. Is no thing. You ain't worrying about no way nobody feel. The whole point is to bring pain. This is why the king of the jungle is the king of the jungle, not because he's compassionate, and not because he's caring. He's compassionate, and he cares about what protects him and what
So let
feeds
me
him.
let me say, I have seen a image of a lion playing with a deer, a baby deer.
Yeah.
He's playing with the baby deer. Now, a lion in the jungle, you just said the king of the jungle doesn't show compassion. Well, when what we said earlier about when you're already
I say
fed,
he's not compassionate. I ain't say
you
he
said he's
couldn't
not
be.
compassionate. I
And
know.
not
That's
he's
what I'm
not
saying.
worried about being compassionate. Not when
He
it's
ain't worried
time
about
to be,
feelings.
and
What I'm
not when
saying,
it's time to rule. Now maybe what you saw a lion playing with a deer. He had already established this my kingdom.
and that's what I was about to say. When you're already fed, when you're already full,
When you
you
already
can
killed,
you can right. You already made your kill. You don't have to show power because you're good right now, right? I don't have to swipe your neck open because we're good, right? I'm
I
good
just
right
killed 30 deers.
now, right?
So
So he can play with the little baby fawn, right? But at the same
yeah,
time, what I'm expressing is that when you are whole as a king, even though you have the power and ability to be as ferocious as you are, when you are whole, full, and fed, you can and do show compassion.
yes,
You have the ability to have that side of you to come out
it's
and know
rare.
when to allow to and when not, when to raw.
It's
When you
rare.
are a whole king, when you
It's
are
rare.
dealing with pain and you are not allowed to be your natural self and you feel dormant and you feel held back, you
We're
are
gonna
not
take
whole.
something.
That's the pain. And
Yeah,
that's
we're
how
gonna
you
take
end up
it.
acting out.
Yeah, we're gonna take something. We're gonna
Bring
we're
something,
gonna do
take
what we
something.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do what we do. Like I told you, like now, like I operate out of pain. Most successful people that they operate out of pain. Oprah Winfrey, pain.
But it's
People.
got to be with a balance. It's got to be with a balance for you to be healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Operating out of pain, we talked about earlier what people feel like they made success out of. So because she's the highest grossing woman in media, she feels like I'm successful, but she still ain't got that man in her life like she wants. She still ain't got that baby that she thought she was going to have. She still got some things that are
Come on, Danielle. Come
on the
on, Danielle.
personal side that she has not achieved, even
Come
though
on.
she feels I've succeeded in the eyes of the people. I've
In one
succeeded
sector,
in
she
my
she
pocket and
has.
in my bank, but there's some personal things that's still not whole.
But she has yet to be crowned as a queen. The only way you can be a queen is to be crowned by a king. Like so, no
The
matter how
thing is,
much
my
Oprah,
father above until you come and take that place. I'm already a queen because my father above made me that. My king, my master already made me that. So when you come to my daddy house and you come to get me out and say you're gonna take me from my earthly God, my earthly father, my earthly provider, and tell me I could come live with you to provide, and now you're my king, you better show up like that. Because you got big shoes to fill,
hey,
buddy.
I don't care how much you raise your voice. Listen, the
Comes from the pain.
hey, it come from the pain.
Comes from the
Hey,
pain.
listen, it come from the pain. So, hey, so when you look at Oprah and you look at Michelle Obama,
Hmm.
which one is the queen to you?
They both are.
Nah, so what?
Thank
Nah,
you.
you got
Thank
no,
you,
you
Shay.
can't, you
In
can't.
their own right. That's what I
Oh
said.
no, no.
It's
Which
how
one?
you are looking at this
Which
thing.
so if you had okay, you got you got one shot to get this right, and it's like what I'm saying. They say, hey, look, what I'm saying. This is life or death. You got to pick you
Come
got to
on.
pick who the queen is. If you pick the wrong one, you die.
Man, listen,
So
No.
who
let
you
me tell you
picking?
why. Let me tell you why I'm gonna negotiate before the shots get fired. Because that's the problem now. We're being made to pick who's the best female rapper. We gotta pick one or the
No, it
other
ain't the best queen. We talking about queen.
no, I know, I'm saying we are always looking to pick apart instead of seeing what's whole.
See,
Like, why I
Danielle,
gotta pick one or the other? Like, that's like saying,
Danielle,
okay, you better pick Shay or me on
Oprah
this
or
show.
Michelle Obama. You do got like
Danielle.
so. Who
Yes.
is
The
the
reason
queen?
Magic saying that because Michelle Obama is married. That's why he's saying that.
And she
Oh
led,
Lord.
and she aided her man
But you
in
Baby
being
can't
in the
say
steps.
that,
most pop.
Magic, because they both are queens.
They're both queen. They were.
So
It
who
is not
made Oprah a queen?
God made
She was
Oprah
born a
a
queen.
queen.
Oh
Who
my
her
goodness.
father is, who she came from. He is a king, so she is automatically a queen.
Okay, so which father, her earthly father or her heavenly
Okay,
father?
so like I said, we gotta send our thinking, and then our thinking. I'm gonna go all the way to the top. It started with our heavenly Father. You right? Where did you come from? You came through your mama. You ain't come from her. You came through her and your daddy. You understand? Wait, when you go back, when you go home, where you going to? You going back home to where? Your father, right? So
No.
your heavenly father made you a king. Now, if you show up here on this earth like that or not, that's your business. I
So
was
let me,
made a queen before I got here. Now
but
I
you
need to
obeyed it
walk that walk when I get here
because of your heavenly father, right?
because of my heavenly father.
Because of your heavenly father. So why do you celebrate Mother's Day more than you celebrate Father's Day? Like so, like
Who
so it doesn't
celebrates
make
Mother's
sense.
Day more than Father's Day?
You do.
I don't.
Oh Lord, have mercy. Now,
Why you
can we
say
not
I?
gonna do this
Where you get
today?
me from? We calling me out shots
Yeah,
again. What's
no,
going
ain't no
on?
shots
Who
you do, but
tripping?
okay. Y'all, but most women celebrate Mother's Day more than Father's Day.
Magic,
Why do you,
I'm
well,
not
I don't
gonna
know about most
disagree.
women. I'm talking about me as a queen. Shay, as you as a queen, do you celebrate Mother's Day more than you celebrate Father's Day?
I think that's, well, let me say this. I feel
Because you
like
wouldn't be a queen
Mother's
without the
Day.
Heavenly Father now.
I feel like Mother's Day is praised more than Father's Day. That's how I feel.
I agree. I agree. It's
But
praised
I'm not
more
gonna say that you can't say, Magic, that, oh, Danielle, you celebrate Mother's Day more than Father's Day, and you can't
She
say, Shay,
do.
oh, you
You
celebrate
do.
Mother's
Shay,
Day
how
I
you
more
know
than
for a
do
fact.
Father's
that.
Day.
Shay,
You
I know
you
for a
can't
fact you
you
celebrate
can't
Mother's Day
say
more than
that.
Father's Day. Shay, I know for a fact you celebrate Mother's Day more than Father's Day.
That's not true. You don't know. You see what I'm saying? You
That's
speaking on something that
opinion.
you don't know for a fact. See, you don't know what I do for Tyrone for Father's Day or whatever. You see what I'm saying? That's just your. I definitely agree. Is praised more than Father's Day.
Yes, I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. But that's a societal thing, okay? Let's go back. Society is
Exactly.
of the world.
But I
What's
think it's
going
the
on in the
pain.
house? What's going on in the world in your home that you're creating? Because in the world that I'm creating, Father's Day is celebrated just as heavy and hard as Mother's Day. So again, it's all in what you're creating in your world with the people that are attached to you.
I agree. What you got to say, Anton?
I'm listening to y'all, and I say, uh, 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 I agree with Magic. It in societally, yes. Mother's Day is one of the greatest days on earth. Father's Day is, yeah, do I even get a text or a call?
Well, that comes from the pain. That comes. I keep. We got to revert it back to the pain because what has happened in the society, it has been made to appear, especially in certain cultures, that fathers are not connected. That fathers are not as engaged as mothers are. That fathers are not doing the job that mothers do. You know, fathers will bypass their job and put it on the mother and say, "Well, I'm working, so that's all I need to do."
Not, oh,
Right?
not
That's
not
all. But that's
all
all
of
we
them.
ever
Not
had. That's
all of
all
them,
we.
but
I'm
That's
not
it's a
saying
very,
that that's something that always happens. I'm saying that's how
yes,
society paints the picture.
yes.
right. But is society wrong and in society not wrong? Let's go back to where you said in the caveman. You said you got the picture of the caveman, like the man, like he come home, he go in the cave, he be with his woman. You know what I'm saying? He put her in a safe cave. and put a rock in front of it, and he go out and he gone hunting all day. All day he get back, but his job is to come back with something. And that's why one of my mentors always taught me, when you leave home in the morning, you make sure you come back with something. You always bring like that's see this kingship. See, you see this the rite of passage that a lot of men don't know. When you leave your house in the morning, whatever you left for, you go accomplish that, but you come back with something. You bring something back to the house. You put, whether it's toilet tissue, whether it's some chicken, but you come back to that, but you bring something back to the house. That's what we done. That's tradition. That's what kingmanship is. That's what man being a man is. Um, so I forgot what I was saying.
I'm sorry that you forgot. Hold, and if you can pick it
But
back up.
but the,
But
but the
somebody,
but the mother is but the father is the one who has to sacrifice his self and his whole self in the essence to reserve the woman. So you know what I'm saying. So it was all about reserving women. It's all about, so that's why women think that they above men, because our job is to reserve. You know what I'm saying. We reserve your energy. We reserve your youth. We reserve your beauty. We
we
reserve
reserve
so.
yours as well. So while you out there going to get that toilet tissue and going to get that meat or going to get whatever else you're going to bring back to the house, we back at the house taking care of them youngins that we help bring here, that we help so that we can
Yeah,
multiply. So
I
you
know.
can
And you
have
ain't help bring
seconds.
here them
So
our
while
seeds.
I'm
Them
sorry, I'm
our
sorry, you
seeds.
talking, I'm gonna stop talking. You go ahead. What you say?
Yeah, them our seeds. I just want to know them our seeds. You talking
Those
about
are
you help
our
bring them
seeds.
our
Right, but
them the man seed.
while you're outside, I'm gonna make sure your seeds are well, that
Appreciate
they
it.
are nurtured, that they are cared for, that they are sick, because they're gonna carry on your name. You understand? Not
I
mine.
appreciate it.
Even though
Right.
they're ours, they're gonna carry on your name. So I'm gonna make sure that they're well and they're ready to get out and hunt when it's time for them to. I'm gonna take care of what needs to be taken care of back at the house while you out there doing that. So I'm preserving you too, because you ain't got to do that part. You don't have to worry about the house. You don't have to worry about making sure it's comfortable. You don't have to worry about the education, nutrition of the children. None of that. I got that part. So if we're operating together, then you don't feel like I'm not going to feel like I'm above you, and you're not going to feel like you're above me. You're just going to feel like you're playing the role you're supposed to, as I am doing mine.
Okay.
Someone made
So
a comment before we get too far. They said Mother's Day is overrated and Father's Day is overlooked. Now that's a powerful statement right there. I like that right there, because that is a true statement. And if we could find a happy medium in between that, we would be better.
so
Mm-hmm.
so look, I think Father's Day should be bigger than Mother's Day. I mean, I'm just gonna
Oh
go ahead and say
Lord,
it. And I think should, because when you say your prayer, you say our Heavenly Father, like, you know what I'm saying. You just said,
my
like,
Father in heaven. That's who I'm praying to, my dear.
right, right.
So when I say that prayer is for the
So
Father
we
in
talking
heaven,
about the Father of Fathers. Why wouldn't this day be super big, like Easter, like Christmas? Like, why wouldn't Father's Day be on that level? Like, you know what I'm saying? We talking about
that's a
Father. We talking about the
man-made
Father of Fathers.
holiday. Fathers should be celebrated, not just that day.
Yeah,
And
I
if
think
that
we need to
man is
make an
doing,
initiative to make Father's Day bigger. Do you want to ride with me on that? Like, I can use your voice on this.
do you want to make it bigger? Or do you want to make it more freaker? You want to be celebrated more days of the year, or you just want to be celebrated bigger on that one day of the year? Tell me that,
Uh huh.
King.
I wanted to be big like Christmas.
Just the one day.
All right.
You just want one big old celebration day, and you good.
Yeah, you're right. So look, hey, we winding up on the time. Like it's definitely time. Hey, we done went. Hey,
Every day, I'd rather celebrate my King every day. I
yeah,
agree.
and there's no law to say you can't. But we gonna, hey, celebrate these 2 hours we just put in.
Woo.
Yeah, we put some work in today, and it was very enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? I hope the people that see this get something from this, that that we came and shed some light on. Great insight from everyone. I
Yeah.
mean, great insight
Yeah.
from everyone, man. Just salute everyone. And when I was spinning the ball, man, it was y'all caught it, and and everybody stood their ground, and this the importance of having unstructured educational conversations. and and you know, we just gonna keep doing this right here. You know, this here felt good to me. I appreciate the check-in. I appreciate the comments. If you could comment and I ain't say nothing, trust me, I saw it. And we just getting warmed up. So I appreciate everybody. Y'all got any last words before we get out of here?
I enjoyed this.
Yeah, I did too, man. I like what you just said. What is it? You said something educational. What was that? Un.
Unstructured
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Unstructured educational. I like that.
conversation. Yeah.
I appreciated everybody's input because and because we have these unstructured educational moments, I think we're able to walk away with things that we didn't have when we came in. So I
I
thank you
know.
all for that.
I just think I ain't gonna lie. It's so great to know Danielle's actual height now, and know that's where she gets all of that energy, that passion from the Napoleon complex. You know what I'm saying? Just
Oh,
ah.
listen, all I want you to know is that you see the physical, but if I come up out this body,
I know you 8 feet.
Hey. Until next time, people.
all
Y'all have
I
a
right,
good
will
night.
y'all
holler.
be good.
Good night.
Yeah.